we're going to start up here on the tongue of the camper. You've got your 220 tank propane underneath this cover here. They're both attached with an even flow regulator. You've got your battery box down here behind it with the 24 size battery in it. We've got your tongue jack right here. It's got a working light on it so you can jack it up and jack it down in the dark. Jack works. Right here we've got your battery disconnect. When you turn that off, that will save all of the juice that is in your battery when you are not using it. Comes with a 7-way connector. Plugs into your vehicle. We'll run your running lights, your brake lights, and your turn signals. We'll come over here. You've got your side compartment that goes all the way through to the other side. Over on the other side, you've got your manual crank handles and your porch sprayer and your LP quick connect hose for the outside grill that we'll get to. Down here, there's one on all 4 corners of the camper. These are your stabilizer jacks. They are not for jacking up the camper. They are for just keeping it level only.
And not for leveling either.
No, not for leveling. You want to use just the crank handle, because if you use a drill or anything else on it, it will strip these bald. So we'll get with the crank handles when we go to the other side compartment. Come back here. You've got your black tank down here, black tank and gray tank flush. Your valves. When they're fully extended, they are in the open position. That means that the water that's from your black and gray tanks will drain out into wherever you're parked at. Close these up. They have a cap on them. So you want to dump your black first, open this valve first, and then when that gets going and it kind of calms down a little bit, you'll open your gray up, and that will flush, the gray will flush the black out of this. And then we can also go over to the black tank flush when we're done, when we're getting ready to go to the back side of the camper. Right here you've got your outside shower, hot and cold handles. It runs off city water or the pump. That locks with the key.
And real quick, you've got your power cord right here. It's got a blue light on top that shows you got power coming through it.
Here you've got your cable and satellite hookup in case the campground has cable and or satellite. You can hook up to that and you'll get the reception on the inside and the outside. Back here you've got your black tank flush. You can hook that up with a hose and regulator, and that will also run and clean out your black tank. It's got aerators on the inside that will spin, and it will clean out the gunk that's on the inside of your black tank. This is for your city water connection. Again, with a hose and regulator, you don't have to run the water pump if you have this hooked up. If the campground has a hose, you can just hook that straight up and just use as much water as you want. Right here, we've got your propane quick connect for the outside grill and any other accessories that you want to attach to that using the quick connect hose.
You want to be sure when you do this that once you hook up your quick connect, you turn that to the on position, otherwise you won't get propane.
On this side, we've got the sprayer porch attachment line, which is in that front compartment that we'll get to. It plugs into that and it twists just a 1/4 of a turn, and then that will lock into place, and then that will give you an outside sprayer to use.
Cold water only, but it's still really handy.
You've got your outside grill. You open up you lift up on the red tab. This slides out. It's a grill combo. Grill comes off. You've got your burner. You've got your grill top.
Your hose is right here. They'll feed out here to your propane quick connect over here.
Got an outside fridge.
There's your temperature controls. And I believe that one's 12 volt only, is that correct? So it only runs if you have shore power.
Yep, only runs when you've got it connected. You've got your outside cable hookup for if you want to watch TV outside with a 110 outlet underneath, so you can plug in all your devices.
Here's your low point drains. Red is for hot, blue is for cold. You'll use those when you're winterizing to drain the camper. It's also nice if you open those up after you are finished camping and open up a couple faucets as you're going down the road. That'll get all the water out so nothing will get stagnant while you've got it parked.
You've got your 2 Bluetooth speakers. We can go over that when we go inside. You've got your awning and the lights underneath. We'll go over that when we get inside and look at the control panel. You've got your furnace vents. Recommend getting a mud diver screen for these. It's a $20 part, and it's a $140 fix. If you have to come in, we have to scoop all those mud divers out. They're a great investment.
You also don't want to block it, and it's very hot, so don't touch it.
Yeah.
It has a sticker.
Under here, this is your fresh tank valve. This is what's going to let all the water out of your fresh tank when you're ready to leave.
It's a big one, so it'll come out fast.
Right here we got your freshwater connection. Your freshwater connection is how you fill up a fresh tank. Doesn't screw in. You can just set your hose in there and you can turn it on. It's got a air valve right there that will let it burp whenever there is air in the line, so you don't have to worry about it back pressuring.
Now you want to make sure that you monitor your freshwater tank on the monitor inside. You don't want to just put it in here and let it just shoot out when it's done, because that can cause damage to the camper itself.
This is your electric hot water heater.
On demand, which is so nice.
You've got your fuse here. O is for off, I is for ignition. You turn that on, you will hear a beep from the monitor panel on the hot water heater, and then you can set your temperature from the inside. This is so you can check to see it's your pressure valve. You will hear it click on, but it won't light. We'll get to that when we get to the monitor panel.
You've also got your stove vent.
It's got 2 flaps underneath here that when you're on the road, you want to make sure that they are closed. If you're parked somewhere and you want to run the foot fan, you open those up. But if you don't, that'll rattle out of there. If you leave that open when you're driving down the road and you don't close that back down, it will fall out. We'll go up to here real quick before we go inside. This is the other storage compartment. It goes all the way across. You've got your laundry hamper on the inside. This is your LP quick connect hose for the outside grill. It's got a male and female end on either side. This is your porch sprayer. It's got a quick connect part that locks into that port on the back that we went over. This manual crank handle is for the jack in case for whatever reason the motor in the jack does not go up or down. This will allow you to manually crank that jack up or down.
And that, the way you access that is in the top of the jack, I believe.
Yep, there's a little rubber.
Right here.
Yep, and this just fits down in there like so.
We hope you never have to do that.
And this crank handle right here, this is for the stabilizer jacks. Again, don't ever use a drill on these. You will strip them. And you can raise and lower the jacks as set. These are quick release jacks, so if you don't feel like having to jack them all the way down, you can get them started. You can pull the silver ring here. This claw will detach and they will fall, and then you can just crank them to the desired height. And then this is also a dry erase surface, so you can put all your packing needs, all of your what's in here, what needs to be done, or you can let your kids doodle. We will go inside. Purple key unlocks both doors. This is the deadbolt. You can turn it. It's locked. You always want your key to go up. And that will unlock the door. Oh, nope. Messed that one up. There we go. Entry stairs. The entry stairs, you want them to be flush at the threshold. If they are not flush at the threshold, the door will not close properly. The catch will catch at the bottom of the door. To fix that, the entry stairs have buttons on the backside here that will raise and lower these 2 legs. I think they have 18 different holes.
15 to 18.
Yeah. And that one can be higher than the other one. It just depends on the level of what surface you're parked on. You also, when you run your stairs up and down, you want this door to be completely open before you fold your steps up or bring them back out. All right, we'll step in here now. Working fire extinguisher. Up here, we'll start at the top. You have your 30 amp solar controller. That is going to tell you how many volts the solar unit on the roof is putting out. It's also going to tell you the temperature, and it's going to tell you that the volts that the battery is putting out. The 23.1 volts that it is showing now is just what is being collected from the solar panel. The 13.9 is what the battery is putting out. We'll move down here to the control panel. You've got the button that's going to check your battery level. It's shown full now because of the solar. You've got the fresh tank, which is going to show you the level of your fresh tank, indicated by empty, 1/3, 2/3 full. We've got the black tank, which is also designated with the empty, 1/3, 2/3 full. And then you've got the gray tank, which is going to be your kitchen and bathroom other than the toilet. The toilet is the black tank. The gray tanks are the sinks and the shower. That's also represented with empty, 1/3, 2/3 full. You've got your water pump. When it is on, the red switch will light up. You will hear it engage. You've got your lights, which are going to be your outside lights, your awning lights, which are underneath the awning. And then you've got the lights above the slide. Turn those all off. Then you've got your awning. Oh, the door's open.
On this one, you have to shut your door a little before you run that awning out. We'll see how far we can get. We may get it all the way out.
Almost.
You want to run it till that skirt is straight down, not any farther.
Doesn't look like we're going to be able to.
We're pretty close.
Doesn't look like we're going to be able to get it all the way out.
And then on the awning, on the arms, there's a pitch point right there that you can pull down on one side or the other. That will pitch your awning so that the rain comes off one side. But remember, your awning is a shade protectant. And if you are not in your camper to supervise your awning, you should put it up. It is one of the most expensive things to fix on your camper.
And this operates your slide. Slide will go in and out. That is in. You'll realize that there's not a whole lot of clearance between the island and the bottom of the slide, but that's fine. That's how they are designed. And then we'll push it out. Then we will go down here. This is your Suburban Insta-Heat water tank, your hot water heater. When we have the button down there that's on the inside of that switch to the eye, you'll see that come on. It'll light up and it'll make a sound. You can turn it off and on. It'll illuminate with a dark blue screen with some light white letters. You can switch the temperature from Celsius to Fahrenheit with this button here, in case whichever one you prefer using. The up arrow will increase the temperature and the low arrow will decrease the temperature of the water coming out of the hot water heater. The dimmer switch here is your inside lights control. You can just tap it and the inner dome lights will come on. And you can tap it again. You can turn these all off manually. There is a button at the center of each one of these that will turn it off and on manually in case you want more or less lights, or you can just touch your finger on the dimmer switch again. We'll go ahead and turn these back on as we finish the virtual. We'll start here and we'll work our way around. We've got your sink here. It's standard sink. It's got a handle that comes out of the thing. You always want to make sure that this goes back in here. If not, when you're traveling down the road, this thing will jiggle all over the place. It's your hot and cold water are designated with a blue dot and a red dot. You just tilt the handle out and it'll turn it on.
So hot is to the front, right?
Yes. You pull down on the handle all the way down, and then that's hot, and then that's cold, and then this is in between.
The big thing is if you want water, you have to pull it this way, out. Otherwise, you don't get any water.
Your microwave, standard microwave, tested, tried, good. Doesn't really have anything that all of the options are available on the front. Your hood, stove, and fan are here. You've got a light on the top. If you push the button to the center, it turns them all off, and then if you push the button on the down, it turns on the light and the fan. This is the hood that goes to the latch on the outside that you want to make sure is open when you're using it and closed when you are not using it. Got a gas oven. The glass will flip up to kind of give you a backsplash.
You have to flip it up before you use the stove.
Yes, yes.
Very important information.
In order to use the stove top, you want to make sure that the button down here on the bottom is in the up position, which will be designated by the 5 blue lights. You will turn the handle over and it will turn red, and you want to turn it to the flame option, which is your light option. And then you will turn the striker until the burner lights. Once that happens, you will turn it to the designated temperature. That goes for all 3 of these. This is your oven control. In order to operate your oven, you want to make sure that the button is on the 2 lines, and you'll see that because the 5 will designate, and then your oven light will come on. In order to operate your oven and to light it, you want to turn the oven knob to the lighting position, which is the red ring and then the flame, and then you will turn your striker. Underneath here, you will see that there's a igniter in the back, and you will watch that click as it turns over. And then once the oven lights up, the whole element will be a blue glow from the flames. You will see it.
The big thing is once you light that pilot, you're going to want to hold that down for about a minute and let the thermocouple above the pilot heat up, because if you let it go too soon, the pilot goes out.
Mm-hmm. These 2 panels here are access to your water pump for whatever reason you may need to get to those. They are size 2 square head bolts, or screw heads. This is your refrigerator and freezer combo.
Nice size.
To open and close them, there are buttons inside the handles that you have to press in order to get the doors to open.
Your temperature control is right here. It's nice and cold in there.
This is going to be your furnace right here behind this vent. You will hear it when you go to turn your furnace on. You will hear it click as it's trying to light, and then you will hear it kick on, and then that vent on the outside that we went over about it being hot will blow out hot air. Be careful, it does get hot. We'll start here. This is your temperature control gauge for your furnace and your air conditioning. 1 click of the center dial will wake it from sleep mode. A 2nd click will get you into your options, whether you want it off, cool, or heat, or you can do cool and heat. Click it again, that brings you to just your fan controls. You've got off, high, and low. You click it a 3rd time, and it takes you back to the center screen. We'll come down here and we have your LP and CO2 detector. You can test it by holding in this center button. It will do a loud beep. We're going to do that right now. When the LP light goes off, that means it hasn't detected anything, and when that light is green, then that means it hasn't detected anything as well. It will make an audible sound when it detects either one of those. Next up is your bathroom. You have a light switch on the side of that wall. You have a GFCI protected 110 outlet there, with the test and reset buttons there, which will trip the GFCI breaker. If you push that test button, it will shut them all off, all the ones that are connected to that GFCI.
So if you have outlets that are not working in the camper, come check this. This could be the reason.
Yes. You've got your hot and your cold knobs here with a stopper. Stopper does not have any sort of threads on it. It just sets into the drain. The medicine cabinet has an elastic band that sits around a hook and latch that is after that. The elastic band will only work if it is closed. And that will keep your mirror and your medicine cabinet from rattling open down the road as you're driving. You've got a vinyl shower door that will close and magnetically lock to the... It's been open for far too long. Once it gets more used, that vinyl will learn that it needs to stay open. But it's closed with magnets, slides all the way over to the wall and locks into place so you can easily access your shower. You have a shower drain down here in the center. Go ahead and pull that safety thing off. You have your shower handle up here with a function button and a stopper button that will turn off the shower head in case you don't want water in your face while you're trying to get in and out. You have your hot and your cold. Hots should always be on the left, cold should always be on the right. And that goes for any of the sinks in your camper that have knobs for the hot and cold water. We'll go back here to the bunk.
We've got our...
Oh, your toilet. Can't forget about that.
Most important.
It's
a foot flush.
It's a foot flush. The pedal is over here in between the cabinet and the toilet on this one. You will step on it, it will open up.
Halfway down fills with water. All the way down gets rid of everything inside.
And then this cabinet here, that's how you get to your water lines for your bathroom sink in case for whatever reason something happens. You need to get to those.
And storage.
So we'll close this. Oh, you also have a vent up here in case things in here get a little too rough. You can open this up. It's got a button over on this side which will turn the fan on. Very important to have.
Yes.
And you just turn this knob until the vent door closes.
In case you're the second person in the bathroom in the morning.
This closes and it doesn't lock, it just tightens, and that's when you know that the seal has been made on the vent. We'll work our way to the bunkhouse next. Back here you have a bunkhouse. There is no light switch. The lights are only manual, and they are in the center of these domes. You can turn them on. There's two of them. There's one above each bed.
There's also a USB port.
USB and USB-C now.
Oh.
So that way, if you have you have a USB-C to USB-C, which most modern phones now come with, they are equipped to handle that. So you don't have to go out and buy an additional USB to USB-C charger. There's one on the top bunk, and there's one on the bottom bunk as well.
Very handy.
The covers on the windows do open up. This is a fire escape window. In order to operate it, you push in the red handle and it lifts out of its little catch, and you push this out.
We recommend feet first, unless you're really good at tumbling.
And you just pull the slide. The slide has a catch that will, when it's pushed all the way over to either side, you can wrap this around and it will open the window up for you. Top bunk kind of cascades around to another dome light up here. This will lift up in case you've got tall individuals sitting back here that don't want to bump their head on the bottom of the bunk bed. To a couch that will also turn into a bed. This will lay flat. It fully extends out, and this will lay flat in case you are sleeping more than what these bunk beds can allow. Over here we have the smaller window with a pull-down shade. Pull-down shades are nice. You just pull them and let them go, and then they go back up. The window opens, screen comes up, which brings us over to the third USB and USB-C port in the wall. Your TV outlet is right here. Plug into the cable that is ran through the trailer, and you've got another 110 outlet here.
Somewhere here they haven't marked it, but somewhere here there's a TV backer.
Which should support the amount of a mounting bracket for a television.
Or you can set it right here. And you got some storage.
You got some storage, and then down here you have your circuit box, which is going to have all of your fuses and all of your circuits.
The blue are the fuses, which are all the things that work off of 12 volt. The others are the breakers that work off of shore power. And they all are neatly labeled for you.
And then this is your GFI. That's going to be the one that trips whenever if there's an outlet that trips that GFCI breaker.
And all of your fuses will have a light that lights up if something goes out. And you can see it through this groovy window over here when the door is closed.
Throughout the camper's roof, there are riddled with these AC vents. They are a louver with a push button control that will dictate the direction of the blades.
And that's where your AC comes in. Very exciting.
Here we've got a corner style cabinet with railing to keep your stuff from falling out as you're driving down the road.
Snacks.
Snacks.
Good place for snacks.
We'll move over to the slide now. The lights on the slides are also manual, so you'll have to click the button in the center. All of the windows, other than the kitchen one, are equipped with these pull-down shades. Again, very handy. You've got a booth-style bench seating. All of these cushions are Velcro to the back. They can be removed for placement. If you decide that you don't want one, you can move them. Table does not fold down. Table is stationary. The reason being is because you can take this out and reverse it to over here, and you can have a U-shaped bench seating with a couch.
Or you can take the legs out and you can put this down. You can do all kinds of things with your Versa Lounge. We will actually attach a separate video of the Versa Lounge because it does all sorts of things.
You also have several storage compartments underneath. Very deep storage. You can fit totes, you can fit blankets.
Oh, look, they gave us a tote.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
There's one on this side of the bench seating as well with a tote in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is a long drawer here that will open up to more storage.
Very cool.
And again, more of the windows with the pull-down shades. Just make sure that the shade stays on this side of the shade guard. If the shade ever gets on this side of the shade guard, it's going to be a pain in the butt to fix. So anybody that gets their hands on it, just make sure that when they pull the shade down, they don't put it on the outside of that.
Stay inside the lines.
Again, another manual dome light. Up here above the slide, that's your smoke detector. It's a lock and swivel. The two matching lines here, how you indicate that it is put on correctly, and you twist it just a corner of a turn and it will lock it into place. The little clear button on the bottom of it, you hold that to test it. It means it's working. It's got a battery in it. 9 volt. Very handy. On this side, we'll work our way up towards the front now. You have two side cabinets on either side with ample amounts of storage for movies, DVDs, CDs, game systems, whatever else you want to put in there. You've got a TV backer here, which means it supports a TV mount for a wall-mounted television. Measured up to 70 inches. You can have a big TV up here. It's got a cord carrier here for all your TV cords and all your cable outlets. HDMI cords, whatever else you want to put up there. Underneath here in this little cubby, you have a 110 outlet to plug in your television, DVD player, game systems, etc. You have an auxiliary or satellite hookup. If you decide to put a satellite on it, this is where you're going to plug your coaxial cord into to get the image from the satellite. Down here, this is just your local cable TV. You can hit this button here, which it picks up off the antenna. So here is your antenna booster. When the green light is on, the booster is active. You hit the little black button, the light goes off. That means that you're not going to get TV. Depending on where you're at, you may pick up a couple channels, you may not. Suggest if you're going to watch it, you make sure that the green button's on.
And you have to have that button off to use the cable. This button, when this button is on, it says, I am only using antenna. So if you try to use the cable when you have that button on, it says, no, I'm not going to see cable. I'm only going to see antenna. So if you want to watch cable, make sure you turn that button off.
And then the third panel is just a blank panel that you can remove if you decide to get Wi-Fi for your camper. Underneath that, we have the Furion soundbar. It is HDMI equipped, USB equipped, so you can plug in surround sound to your TV if you want. You can turn that into a surround sound system. You can plug in a USB port to your phone. It also, on the other end, has an auxiliary port, so if your phone has a headphone jack, you can play your music through that. It is also Bluetooth. The remote that it comes with has the name of the Bluetooth that you will be looking for on the bottom. That's
very handy.
When you go to connect your phone to it, this is what you're going to look for when you go to plug that in. The next remote that we have underneath that is for the fireplace, the secondary source of heating. You've got your power button at the top, which is the red power indicator. We'll turn that on. You'll see the rocks start to glow, and then there'll be a Technicolor flame underneath it. You've got your temperature button, which will turn it to off, low, and high. This is your timer button. This is going to dictate how long it runs. You can have it run indefinite, or you can set it to a timer where it will run and kick off on its own. This is your lights for the rock. You turn this and the rocks will change colors. And this is your flame button. That's going to dictate the colors and the detail of the flames. You can cycle through colors to kind of match your personality or mood setting. All of the remotes and your owner's packet will be in this front top drawer here in the kitchen. And now we'll move on to the master bedroom. In here, you have a light switch, which will turn on the dome lights for the inside, off and on. This is the controls for your VersaTilt bed. You want to sit up and read a book, watch TV, whatever, you hit this button, it'll raise the bed up to the desired height. This is the highest it will go. You hit the down button and you hold the down button, and the motors underneath will push the mattress out and lay the bed flat. Demonstrate that a little bit. And now you're ready for bed. And I will take a second for the motors to engage, and that will push your mattress back up into the sitting position. On either side of the bed, you have another one of those USB and USB-C port connectors so you can charge your phone or other digital devices. There's one on each side. Also mirrored is the side cabinets with optional clothing space and a 110 outlet.
And it has the outlet because it has a cubby that you can't see when the bed is up, so that you can put your devices inside while you're charging, or if you have a CPAP machine, you can store it in there. Very handy. And it has one on each side.
Only on this side only, you have a laundry hamper door that opens up down into the side compartments, and this bag can come off and you can go and do your laundry. It's very handy.
That is handy.
Over here we have the same mirror. Open cabinet space with a hole. The mattress is covering it, but there is a hole there for you to reach your hand in if, for, like she said, a CPAP machine or any sort of digital devices that you may want to plug in during the night. Also with that 110 outlet over here, another one of the USB and USB-C type charging wall ports. You've got your TV backer here. This is going to be a sturdier wall again, so you can mount a wall mount TV bracket, which also has your 110 ports up here and your antenna connection set up. All of the windows in this room have the pull blinds. There's one on either side. They are cinched back with a snap. They will come together and they will Velcro in the middle. These are also your fire escape exits. This one here is the second one. Lift down on the red knob, and the window opens up. Screen does the same. You don't have to unlock the screen. You can just pull the screen out. You click that back up and the window's closed. Same on the other side. Same cinched. They will meet in the middle and they will Velcro down. And I hope you guys enjoy your camper. Good luck. Happy camping.
If you have any questions, feel free to call us. We'll be happy to answer them over the phone.
Of course.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.